In question number 8, the variables x and theta satisfy the differential equation, and that is sine 2 theta dx by d theta into 4x plus 3 cos 2 theta, and x is 0 when theta is 1 upon 12 pi. We have to solve the differential equation and obtain an expression for x in terms of theta. So in the first step, we'll bring the theta terms together. So cos 2 theta will divide on the left hand side. So we'll get sine 2 theta upon cos of 2 theta. Okay, so the d theta is in the denominator, so we had to do it the other way around. So we'll bring the 4x upon 3, 4x plus 3 in the denominator over here, and we'll write it as cos 2 theta upon sine 2 theta d theta. Now we can integrate both the sides. So integrating 1 upon 4x plus 3, that becomes ln of 4x plus 3, and the derivative of 4x plus 3 divides, so that will become 1 upon 4 and then 4x plus 3. And the derivative of sine 2 theta is 2 cos 2 theta. But we need a 2 over here, so we'll multiply by and divide by 2 at the same time. And now using this uh, integration property, that if we have the derivative in the numerator and the function in the denominator, this can be written as ln of f of x. So we have the function in the denominator and its derivative in the numerator. So this can be written as half ln of sine 2 theta, and then we add a constant plus c over here. Now, once we have done this, we use the initial values to find the value of c. X is 0 and theta is pi by 12. So we'll get half ln of 0 plus 3 will be 3, and equals to half ln of sine 2 times pi by 12 plus c. So sine, that will become pi by 6, and sine pi by 6 is half. So you'll get half ln of half plus c is equals to 1 upon 4 ln of 3. Now simplifying this, we can write it as 1 upon 4 ln of 3 minus 1 upon 2 ln of 1 upon 2 equals to positive c. Now, once we have this value, we can simplify it as well. We can bring this 2 in the numerator as well and write it as 2 to the power minus 1. Or we can take the LCM first maybe. So let's take the LCM. So if we take the LCM, if I multiply this by 2, this multiply by 2, I will get 1 upon 4 ln of 3 minus 2 upon 4 ln of, and we can write it as 2 to the power of minus 1 equals to c. And now simplifying this, so we have a negative sign over here, or we can just write it as ln 3 to the power of 1 upon 4 minus ln 2 power minus 1, and this 1 upon 2 can become the power over here equals to c. So this will become ln of 3 power 1 upon 4 minus ln of 2 power minus half equals to c. And as they're dividing, I can write it as ln of 3 power 1 upon 4 divided by 2 power minus 1 upon 2. 2 power minus 1 upon 2 can come up in the numerator as well. And we can write it as, so well, it's getting quite lengthy, but we have space over here. Okay. So we can simplify the value of c and write it as c is equals to ln of 3 power 1 upon 4 into 2 power 1 upon 2 equals to c. Uh, and can we simplify this further? Well, we can write this. Well, let's leave this value as it is over here. Now, once we have this value of c, now we'll have to simplify the whole expression. So the expression was 1 upon 4 ln of 4x plus 3, and then is equals to half ln of sine 2 theta. So is equals to half ln of sine 2 theta. And in terms of, in place of c, we can write plus ln of 3 power 1 upon 4 into root 2. So that is easier to write. And we can also write 3 power 1 upon 4 in the root form. So let's say 3 upon 4, if I write 3 power 1 upon 2, and basically this is 2 square roots. So that is, we can write it as root 3 to the power of 1 upon 2. Okay, I can see a way we can simplify it further. So if I write it as ln of 3 root 3 into 2 to the power of half, it basically is the same thing, right? Because this half into half will become 1 upon 4, and 2 to the power half will be the same. And this half can come on the left hand side, and we can write it as 1 upon 2 ln of 2 root 3. So yes, this is a better simplified answer. We can write it as 1 upon 2 ln of 2 root 3. Now we have to give our answer as for x in terms of theta, so we have to make x our subject. Now in the first instance, what we can do is we have a common denominator over here. We can multiply by 4. So ln of 4x plus 3 would be equals to 4 upon 2, that is 2 ln of sine 2 theta. And then 4 multiplies by 1 upon 2 over here as well. So that will be 2 ln of 2 root 3. Now, before we simplify, we can write it as ln of sine square 2 theta, as this 2 becomes a power, and ln of, so 2 root 3 whole squared. And this remains as it is. So we'll get ln of 4x plus 3 equals to ln of, and that will be sine square 2 theta times by, so 2 root 3 whole square will be 2 square 4, 4 times 3 is 12. So finally we can write 4x plus 3 equals to 12 sine square 2 theta, and then 4x is equals to 12 sine square 2 theta minus 3, and finally x is the subject over here, and that will be x 12 sine square 2 theta minus 3 divided by 4, and that would be our final answer.